Okay, let's get into the fun stuff, shall we?
Matchday 22.
Match day 22, we start with our favorite team ever, and Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. The scoreline was 2-1, but I'll be honest with you, Arsenal dominated this match. More than double the touches in Forest box, yet Ligne makes his return from injury and gives Arsenal a nervy final 5 minutes.
You got any
after his
fingernails,
late
man,
goal.
after the last few minutes of that game?
You see any? No.
Classic Arsenal style.
Yeah.
Making you sweat at the end.
Yeah, you see that ludicrous display from Arsenal? Trying to walk it into the net. Anyways, what I did love to see from Arsenal was a rare start from Emile Smith-Rowe.
Yes, that was fantastic to see. About damn time, Mikel Arteta.
And he was the most dangerous player for Arsenal in the entire first half. I'm pretty sure he was the only player that actually had a shot. Because it was numerous.
Good to see, man. Glad he's back. I mean, you remember that COVID year when he was the super sub, just scoring in every game he came in?
Yeah.
Hasn't gotten a sniff
the
of
top
a game.
scorer in the league for Arsenal. Yeah. He had like 10 goals in like 2 months, something like that, something crazy. Anyways, back to Ligne, our favorite player to say, and our least favorite player to watch against Arsenal because it's his childhood team, but he can't stop scoring against them.
Every time.
It's his third goal in 3 matches. He did score a goal, and I'm going to just harp on it a little bit here. I know you've been heavy on it. VAR making a meal of it. It should have been the easiest call ever and taken about 30 seconds, but it took him 3 minutes to decide if it was a goal.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like if it bounced off his hand or something. I think that's what they were looking at.
I don't know.
Bit of a lucky bounce, but...
Yeah, but for Forest fans, it's fantastic to see him back.
Yes, because they suck right now, man. They are in a slide.
Yeah. They have been. Good to see him come back and make a goal out of nothing. Bit of luck on the bounce. And I know we've talked about it off camera, but we're going to do it now. Is he the striker Arsenal need?
I think he wouldn't be terrible. He's better than Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm going to tell everybody else what I've already told you.
Okay.
Right? We got the 3 main strikers Arsenal have been linked with, right? Well, 2, really. You got Ivan Toney, and why is his name out of my mouth right now? Victor Osimhen. There it is.
Which they can't afford.
They can't afford, well, they might be able to in the summer, but why on earth would you pay $120 million for someone who's got 1 good season under their belt? He hasn't played great this season.
Victor Osimhen,
he's unproven in the Premier League. When you get him up against a physical team, he disappears. Let Chelsea have him. Let them pay $120 million.
Whoever Chelsea is linked with, that's a player you don't want to go for right now.
Yeah, exactly. Ivan Toney, he's 28. Yes, he's got a few good years in him. He's a proven striker.
That's the prime, man.
He's
in
English.
His prime.
He is. But Ligne gives you something you don't have. A big physical presence in the box. He's fast.
He's quick, too, yeah.
He will be inexpensive compared to the other 2, which gives you a lot more transfer budget to improve all of the other areas you need. And on top of that, it's his favorite club. So he will sign anything you put in front of him. I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest with you. Just saying.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. Anyways, Arsenal get their 3rd away win in their last 8 away games. It was their strength last season, their games away from homes, where they picked up a lot of their points. What has changed?
Their goalkeeper.
We're going back to that.
Their goalkeeper's changed. Obviously, their midfield looks different. I mean, they're not
we've seen Thomas
Partey
either. Play with Declan Rice for what? 1 game?
At right back.
At right back. Not in midfield, but at right back. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, Aaron Ramsdale's point total away from home is much better than at home, and David Raya's away form is awful. So, yes, you're right. I'm just going to prove your point for you.
Speaking of awful goalkeepers, how about Matt Turner in this game?
His nickname's Head Turner for a reason, but this one's all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Holy cow. Gabriel Jesus scores a goal from nearly an impossible angle right between his legs because he can't get his knee down fast enough. I don't know how that ball went in.
Near
I
post.
thought for
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
he didn't really have anywhere
Yeah.
else to go with it.
No, he just like, okay, hoping a prayer, put it on target.
Yeah.
And then for Saka's finish, he left a lot of the goal open.
He did. It was still a fantastic finish moving away from him, so I won't
not saying anything bad about
terrible about it, but it did look like he could have done a little better. Definitely a lot better with that first goal. Also got to shout out my favorite player, Montiel, for giving the ball away. If you guys have been longtime listeners, you remember what I said about him at the World Cup.
Yep.
Argentina.
Yep. Yeah, we have our favorites on this show. Montiel is yours and Anthony is mine.
And Richarlison, that's yours.
And Richarlison, yeah. Anyways, to one game that probably was the most shocking result of this entire round.
Not for somebody.
But also, I was going to say it, somehow I picked this game right if you follow us on our social media channels. I picked Luton to beat Brighton, and they did emphatically 4-0. Holy cow, did they tear the relegation race open, hammering the Seagulls.
Dude, took the lead in 20 seconds, and then 40 seconds later got their
40 seconds later.
I mean, just nuts. Just nuts. That's fantastic for Luton. They're looking good. They're currently sitting out of the relegation zone in 17th with a game in hand.
There they are. 1 point ahead of Everton. Someone was onto something there.
Luton.
And I will say, Kenilworth Road might be, when it is popping, it might be my favorite stadium to watch. Oh my goodness, is that place fun? I want to go there now just to see a game.
I'll walk through the garden to the stadium.
There's someone's apartment, one of the two. But oh my goodness, the atmosphere there is nuts. You could just see it. And Adebayo fed right into that, getting a hat trick.
Oh yeah.
Where did that come from? And then their two best players of the match, somehow better than a guy who had a hat trick, Tom Locklear and Ross Barkley. Who was the better of the two?
Dude, I'm loving this new Ross Barkley at Luton. Loving it.
I'm going to be bold and say he might be better than the version we saw at Everton.
Ooh.
The way he's playing with what he has around him, the man has been transforming games. Not only games, but that entire Luton squad. Just saying.
Yeah. What about Brighton, man? Let's talk about their shambolic defense.
I don't know what is wrong with them. Estupinian looks like he's asleep half the time. From the player that we've seen,
was one of the best left backs last year.
We were talking he was one of the best left backs in the league.
Yeah.
Last season. This season, I don't even know if I put him in the bottom 5, like in the 10 through 15th. He'd be in the bottom 5 right now. I know he's been injured a lot, but he is awful right now.
Are you worried about De Zerbi? Like, is this kind of form hurting his chances for a potential Liverpool or a potential Barcelona move like we were talking about?
I don't think it's hurting his chances, but I do think all of the rumors around him and him not doing anything to squash them is hurting the squad of Brighton. Yeah, although their defense has been pretty shambolic. This is going to be my favorite word of this entire episode because I'm going to use it a lot. It's been shambolic for, pretty much since the Arsenal game.
Which was,
they've really only lost like 3 games in their last however many.
It's draws. They have a lot of draws.
It's a lot of draws. Yeah. And games they were winning, they give up late goals too. And they're goals they shouldn't be giving up. So, yeah, I don't know. 2 wins in his last 8. It's not looking good for Brighton. I mean, it's kind of where we expected them to be, or at least me.
That mid-table, yeah.
Especially, we've seen what's happened to Aston Villa and Newcastle this season, being in Europe for the first time in a long time. Brighton, the same thing. First time ever in Europe. And I think it's really taken a toll. And I don't think that slide is going to stop anytime soon once Europe comes back. And they start playing more and more games. So, okay. On to The Fulham and Everton game, which ended 0-0, but I'll be completely honest with you. I have no idea in hell how this ended 0-0.
Right? I mean, so many
goodness.
bad misses. Just bad misses.
So many. And I thought this was like the worst misses of the week. I thought were in this match until I watched Liverpool and Chelsea. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Dominic Calvert-Lewin extends his goalless streak to 15 games, man. 15.
Remember when
surprise you?
Remember when Arsenal were linked with him?
Yeah.
Sure glad
remember
that
when
didn't
Chelsea
happen.
were linked with him too? Yeah, I don't understand it. And the obligatory Jordan Pickford saved them again. Saved Everton.
Yeah.
But how they didn't score in this game, I will never know. I'll never know.
Poor finishing. I mean, Beto honestly was looking like Lukaku at the World Cup. 4 yards out, can't hit the goal.
And it's not like someone was challenging him. There was nobody. He was 4 yards out. There's no one around him. And he has all the time in the world. And he puts it over.
Yeah.
There's
like an invisible... There's an invisible force field on that goal, man. Ball was just hitting the post, crossbar, fantastic saves, goal line clearances, everything but going in the net.
And then Beto and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have this sequence like in the 90, I think it was like 96th minute. Yeah, where they have pretty much a wide open goal and they can't seem to get out of each other's way. One of them hits the other one. The other one shoots it, hits the other one. It happens like 3 times in the span of 5 seconds. And I don't understand how you don't just like jump or go to the ground.
Move,
just
get out the way.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't understand it. It's 0-0. You're in extra time. Just get the fuck out of the way and allow someone to put the ball in the net because the goal is on the other side of the goal. I don't get it. Anyways,
enough of
Raul Jimenez.
Enough about
Raul Jimenez wasn't any better. I will say that, which is probably why they brought in Armando Broja from Chelsea. We'll get into that later. Anyways, we're going to go to Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. I know my segues suck today, so whatever. I'm a little heated.
You are heated.
This one ended 3-2, but this might have been one of the most exciting games of the week.
Had some golazos.
Oh my goodness. Crystal Palace, your 2 stars, take a bow.
And
good on Targo.
Yeah, Michael Elise.
We're over a year ago, calling these 2 out as the players to watch. I'm pretty sure they would go right into any top 4 team right now.
Oh, dude, easily.
Yeah.
They should be at a top 4 team. We'll see if they can stay at Crystal Palace.
There's a hope and a prayer right there. Michael Elise, 2 goals and assists in this one, giving them much needed 3 points after the slide they've been having recently.
Probably saved Roy Hodgson his job, this win.
Yeah, it did. Debut for Sheffield United new boy, Grbic.
Goalkeeper.
Their new goalie they signed for $2 million from Atletico Madrid.
Gets hurt, has to get subbed out.
He would only last 50 minutes after colliding with Mateta, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, he's a behemoth of a man. So
he's a big boy.
I would have too. Barrington Diaz getting his second goal inside of 30 seconds.
It was honestly, it looked like a FIFA game right there, man. The way they were passing around, the switch of the field.
What a ball over to the wing to get that ball to him. It was like a half volley where I think it was Hammer, whatever. I always butcher his name. Where he like essentially hits it on the half volley and it goes right to his foot. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, he also would come off at halftime due to injury.
Yep.
So, and then we had the Michael Elise and Ebrice Eze show. They weren't going to be outdone by that first goal because how much better are Crystal Palace with these 2 on the pitch, man?
1,000% better with those 2. I mean, without those 2, this Crystal Palace team probably gets relegated.
Yeah. I mean, literally all of their goals were those 2 passing the ball to each other. All 3 goals.
There you go.
Yeah. And the second goal for them, Ebrice Eze's volley. Holy cow. Was that a golazo?
Oh, it wasn't a volley. He shimmies and then cuts it onto his left foot.
Okay.
No, he wasn't left-footed, but...
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Elise had the volley.
He did, yes. So, let's talk about him. Michael Olise, what a player. Holy crap. This guy if I'm any top 4, top 5 team, I don't care how much he costs, below 100 mil. I'm signing him next season.
100%, man.
The guy looks like he's not even trying. It's like he's got the passing ability of Kevin De Bruyne. Some of these balls he plays in. It's not the same. I understand. But there's a lot of similarity there.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Which team in the top 4 signs him?
I hope Arsenal. That's what I hope.
I mean, we've seen Arsenal linked to him. Tottenham's been linked to him.
Part of me,
Manchester United has probably had the most links to him.
Part of me thinks maybe an aging Mo Salah leaves Liverpool for Saudi Arabia. Liverpool gets some money. They go sign Michael Olise.
I mean, it only makes sense, right?
So
it depends on who the coach is, because I mean, if Xabi Alonso comes in, you got that much money, I think he's going to go sign Florian Wirtz, who's just as good.
Where would Wirtz play, though?
I would put him out on the right, man.
You would? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I mean, there's a lot of things Xabi Alonso could do with a player of his caliber, but same could be said about Michael Olise. All right. Now to one of the better games, or at least we thought. Aston Villa against Newcastle. Newcastle served Villa their first home loss in over a year, winning 3-1 and doing the double over Villa, jumping up to 7th. Fabian Schär with 2 goals in the span of 3 minutes, both off corners in the first half. And to be honest with you, it looked like a striker with those 2 finishes.
Yeah, especially that first one.
Whew. And then more injury misery for Newcastle as Alexander Isak would come off injured, but Miguel Almiron would come on, and holy crap, did he look like a player rejuvenated, because he was easily the best Newcastle player on the pitch.
He did look good,
and
yeah.
Wonderful. What an assist for that 3rd goal.
Poor Alex Moreno. He collided hard with that.
When I watched that, I felt that in my knee.
Hurt.
That hurt.
That hurt me.
Holy cow. I mean, he's sliding from 6-7 yards out, full speed, collides with his knee right on the post, and eventually essentially knocks the ball in, even though the goal would be credited to Jacob Murphy. Ouch. And on the other side, Leon Bailey, man. Also super sub.
Should have started this game, man. Came on for Diaby and definitely changed things
around. Took the game over.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, him and Oli Watkins, fantastic partnership. He got the assist for Oli Watkins' goal, which is the only goal Villa had. Thought they had 2. VR would also take 5 minutes to decide if Watkins was onside. He was off. You could see it. I don't know how it takes 5 minutes. I don't get it. And then this Newcastle squad looked like the squad of last season. The way they played. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really good game. And I will say the first half of this game was probably the worst I had seen Villa play. Especially at home. I mean, they've been flying at Villa Park.
Flat. Yeah. They did a lot. It looked a lot better in the second half. I mean, the scoreline probably flattered Newcastle a little bit. I didn't want the match to end, I'll be honest with you, because the way Villa were growing into the match. But, I mean, 1 win and 5 for Villa. Like you said, they looked in the first half devoid of ideas.
They have it.
Is this worrying times for them?
A little bit. They're in a slump right now, man. This loss to Newcastle. They had the draw to Everton. They had that loss to Man United, that draw to Sheffield. So, I mean, that's poor form out of their last few games.
A lot of those games are games they should be winning, the way they've been
you think of the Man United one, they were up 2-0.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Again, team of 2 halves. I don't understand it.
So, we'll see if they need to start righting that ship to keep in that top 4 contention with Spurs.
Yeah. And then, Manchester City played this week. They played Burnley. They won 3-1.
Yeah, 2 first half goals for Julian Alvarez on his birthday. Rodri got another.
24 years old.
Rodri gets another in the second half. A little reminiscent of that Champions League final goal.
Yeah. How about that assist from De Bruyne to Julian Alvarez?
That free kick. So it was a free kick that even Pep didn't see coming.
No, he ran straight up to his set piece coach and gave him a hug.
But yeah, the weight on that pass from Kevin De Bruyne for Julian Alvarez, man, that is not easy. He made it look easy, but it is so
not only that,
it's so easy
but
to
the
overhit.
way he, oh yeah, and the way he disguised it too. It was like I fully thought that he was hitting a ball into the box over the defense.
100%, yeah.
No, not at all.
Burnley, they got a consolation goal, but man, City with KDB is scary. Alvarez is world class. Rodri can hit a shot. Doku's fast. Haaland's coming back, and Ederson is scary. There's a sequence in this game, a little shove, Burnley player shove on John Stones, and Ederson did not like that, man. Came in hard. You look back and you see Ederson coming at you with all those neck tats. You're like, oh shit, I'm running. But yeah,
man.
I mean, City, what do you say? 75% possession, 4 shots on target, and 3 goals. Efficient.
Yep. Efficient.
Speaking of efficiently entertaining, we had Tottenham hosting Brentford. This one ended 3-2.
I didn't think I'd ever hear you say those 2 words associated with Tottenham. So.
Ange Postecoglou has done things at Tottenham.
He has done things, mate. He has done things.
But this was a fantastic game for us because it had lots of banter. Lots and lots of banter.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Maupay would score first for Brentford, and then he goes and does the dart celebration that James Maddison is known for. Hilarious. Spurs were terrible first half. Second half, they came out flying. They scored 3 goals in 10 minutes. Destiny Udogie, Brennan Johnson, and Richarlison. But Brennan Johnson and Maddison, then when he scores, they go do the dart celebration. And Maddison and Maupay are out there bickering. Maddison says you haven't scored enough goals to do the dart celebration. Maupay responds, I haven't gotten a team relegated.
At least I haven't been relegated.
That is prime banter. Love to see it. Love it.
I know, out of everybody on the pitch, I would expect that from Ivan Toney, not Neil Maupay.
Oh, dude, Neil Maupay's top banner. Yeah, but yeah, Ivan Toney would get a goal in the 67th to make things interesting. But
what a terrible back pass that was.
Destiny Udogie. What were you doing?
You literally see Vicario go, no, he's right here. No. And he still passes it. Right to his feet. Vicario's like, well, shit. I do what I can.
But yeah, Van de Ven back. James Maddison back. So Spurs are now starting to hum again. Just wait till they get Son back from the Asia Cup. But yeah, they're sitting in 4th place, man.
Yeah. They hold on to this spot the rest of the season?
I think they do.
I mean, the way every team that's around them has been playing, I can't help but agree with you. So,
speaking of top 4, Liverpool put 4 past Chelsea to make it 4-1 at Anfield.
And speaking of top 4, Darwin Núñez, 4 shots against the post.
Yes. This was a good game, though.
Including a penalty.
A good game for Liverpool.
Yes.
Jota goes through a stroll down the middle. Chelsea deciding not to play defense. He scores.
Pretty much sums up the whole game.
Good to see young right back Connor Bradley, only 20, gets his first Liverpool goal with a beautiful finish.
What a baller he is, man.
Keeping Trent
out.
The
moment I first saw him play for Liverpool, I think it was Carabao Cup against Arsenal. He shut down Martinelli. Shut him down. And now he's just reaping the rewards. Good for him. So yet another youngster spit out by Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, not afraid to play him. Keeps Trent out. I mean, he got the assist for Dominic Szoboszlai's goal. Christopher Nkunku got one back with some lovely feet from him. And then Luis Diaz adds a 4th. Again, terrible defending by Chelsea. But let's get to some of this banter over here about Chelsea and Liverpool.
Ben Chilwell, man.
Hilarious dive in the Liverpool box that gets him a yellow card. And then he goes...
My favorite part... Yeah, go ahead.
He goes and gets fouled a minute later. And just the ref's like, nah, he's probably just faking it again.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, Chelsea were non-existent in that first half except for collecting yellow cards, which they had 4.
Yeah.
4 was the theme of this game. 4 times Darwin Nunez hit the post, misses a PK, rattles it off the crossbar. PKs. Let's talk about that.
Batshuayi was awful.
Oh, he was terrible. Yeah,
in this
one, especially for that fourth.
Especially goal. For the
fourth
goal.
keeps Darwin Nunez on side, and then just decides not to run with Luis Diaz.
Yeah, just not. I'm just he was on side, so I'm just not gonna play defense.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go.
I'm tired. I don't want to do that.
But let's talk about.
Speaking of tired, I'm tired of seeing Mykhailo Mudryk suck so bad. He gets a ball played across to him, acres of space. He could have taken 2-3 touches. He's inside the penalty spot, about 7 yards outside the goal. What does he do?
Pew, pew.
Puts it into Rosed. I don't understand how this got... Thank you, Chelsea. That's all I got to say. Thank you. Arsenal dodged a bullet. Holy crap. Leandro Trossard is a million times better.
The rumors are, Josh,
times less.
The rumors are that ball is still waiting to come back down. That's how high up it went. That ball is hanging out with Snoop Dogg. That's how high it is right now.
And Harry Kane's penalty from the World Cup.
He is... That ball is playing with Willie Nelson right now. That's how high it is.
Holy cow. I couldn't have put it better myself.
I mean, Chelsea were just garbage. I mean, their lineup was hilarious on itself, along with the individual performances. I mean, the shit players include Ben Chilwell, who got subbed at halftime, Benoit Batshuayi, who we figured out is also not a left back, Axel Disasi, who we saw is not a right back, so Malo Gusto had to come on at halftime, Moises Caicedo, who just gets yellow cards and generally does nothing but give the ball away, Mykhailo Mudryk, who can't shoot, is fast.
Too easy. Just move on.
Conor Gallagher, who again got subbed off at halftime. Enzo Fernandez, who is the biggest waste of over $100 million.
120. Yeah.
But I will say, I do think in this game, Chelsea probably got robbed at least a PK or 2.
I would say 2, personally. Yeah, I think there was 2 penalty shots. Both should have been penalties. I don't think either way they would have won this game.
I don't think it would have mattered. No, not at all.
But, yeah, again...
Especially the second one, where Van Dijk just kicks the foot of Nkunku. Like, in the first half, if that Jota PK foul is one, then that one has to be.
This is But if that Jota penalty is a penalty, then both of the shouts, the Conor Gallagher and the Nkunku one, should both be penalties. So, again, inconsistencies from refereeing and VAR. All we ask is for consistency or get the F out. That's all we ask. Go away. No one wants you. Bye-bye.
Speaking of go away, no one wants you. We had Eric Ten Hag's Manchester United taking on Wolves at the Molineux. I will say, though, Man United, the first half of football was one of the best. Are you dying over there?
Eric Ten Hag, more like Eric Ten Haggard.
Almost. Oh,
I will give you credit. I stole that from you.
Yeah, you like that little joke I wrote down there?
That is great.
He would have been very haggard if they had ended up losing this game. They won it 4-3. United came out flying in the first half, man. Marcus Rashford, Rasmus Højlund scoring. Rashford used to go on a binger to Belfast more often, huh? Do a celebration in club photos.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. I mean, this guy goes to Belfast, goes on a binger, gets suspended, I guess, and comes back and scores a banger. He hasn't scored a goal in how long?
Talk about a nerd, though, that he has to do his goal celebration and his photos at the club.
I don't
Who does that?
I don't
get out of here, Marcus Rashford.
Yep. Well, what he's saying is, hey, watch this.
It's the only time he gets to do that celebration because he ain't scoring any goals.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
But this was an interesting game. So, yeah, United were up 2-0. Wolves come back in it. Get a PK for a foul from Casemiro on Pedro Neto. Oh, yeah, Casemiro's back playing.
Yep.
Soft. Very soft foul. Not even a foul for me.
I'll be honest with you. I can't. Watching it live, I couldn't argue with the ref. Pointing straight to the spot.
You see the replay, though, and it looks like maybe his toenail slightly grazes a leg hair.
Yeah, again, even in the replays, it still looks like contact's not enough to overturn it.
But should he be falling down from that contact?
No, he should not.
Okay.
I will say that. But watching it live, it did look like a foul. So
it's because Casemiro dangles that leg out there, that dirty dangler.
The dirty dangler.
But super sub, top goal scorer in the Premier League, Scott McTominay, would get United back and rolling with their third goal.
I mean, man, you might as well call this guy Mr. Man United. He's literally the only person on that entire squad that plays for the badge and actually fights for it.
Yeah, but he also is not the best defensively.
Well, I mean, he's not a defensive midfielder.
Apparently
he gets
not.
Played as such, but he's not at all.
At all. And then 2 quick goals from Kilman and Neto tie things up before young midfielder Kobe Mainoo with a lovely goal right at the death, 97th minute. Lovely nutmeg.
Ooh,
curls it around
Man United fans.
Saw.
Man United fans, I see why you're so excited about this guy. He's 18 years old. And he's scoring goals like that?
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
But man, there was a crap ton of goals at the end of this game. Is this a a game of the season contender?
It probably is game of the season contender. I probably would give it match of the week.
It was fun to watch.
There's been a lot of good games this season and still a lot of football to be played. So for right now, I'll add it to that list.
Okay. Let's talk about Man United a little bit because their first half, they looked really good, played phenomenal, good passes of play put together. Second half, United was...
Andre Onana happened. That's what happened.
I wouldn't say... I mean... So, yes.
I mean, this is probably one of the best games I've seen Lisandro Martinez play for Man United. He was fantastic.
So kind of harping on that, I would say this lineup for Manchester United was probably their best lineup. With Lisandro, Varane, Dalot, Luke Shaw, Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro, Bruno, Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund. But you're not wrong.
Yeah,
Onana... once again, comes out flying in this one, punches someone in the face, trying to get to the ball, gets nowhere near the ball, and yet another foul is not called.
It's the second time against Wolves that it has not been called. Second.
Why does this never get called? Why are goalies just allowed to come out and punch players? Like, that's just allowed now. Goalies, they can come punch you.
Shouldn't be. I mean, when I played goalie once upon a time, yes, I did try to do that on purpose, but there was no VAR, so the ref never saw it. So
you're a dirty dangler too, there, man.
I was, yeah. I've been known to get a red card for hitting someone in the nuts in the wall, so whatever.
Oh, you are a double dirty dangler. But how about Onana's positioning for that third goal? Like,
dude, I don't know who he was covering.
Did he just decide, or did he forget he couldn't dive, or just like, oh, I forgot I can dive?
Did he forget that he was in goal? I don't know. He left 3/4 of it open.
I will say it does go through Varane's legs, but
okay, yeah.
Come on,
I don't. What does he ever think when he's in goal? I don't know.
Questionable subs as well from Ten Hagard, bringing on Maguire, Evans, Anthony.
Yeah, he should have stayed on the bench. You know who should have gone out on loan instead of Palestri? Anthony. You would have been better off with Palestri. Okay? Yeah. Anyways.
Agreed. All right. The last game we had was West Ham hosting Bournemouth. It ended 1-1. Good old Calvin Phillips got the start. And man, it looked like he hadn't played football in a while because he was very much at fault for the first goal with a terrible back pass.
Oh my goodness. He was so bad in the first half.
That was just 3 minutes in, man. Yeah, terrible back pass. Solanke with his 13th goal. And now we know why Pep wasn't ever playing Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, well, it's probably because he saw Calvin Phillips without his dreadlocks. Whatever that haircut is without the dreadlocks. He probably was like, this guy should not step foot on the field. He scares me just looking at him.
That's saying something when you have Ederson on your team.
I know. Exactly. And not like scary in like not a good way. Ederson's scary in a good way if you're a Manchester City player.
Yes.
Calvin Phillips is not scary at all.
He's goofy.
He's goofy. Yeah.
Kudus would get fouled. It was a foul. James Ward-Prowse scores a PK in the second half. Good job on the ref.
I will disagree. I do not think this is a foul.
He steps
the defender
on the back
trips
of his
over
calf.
Kudus' feet. He trips over Kudus' feet.
How's that not a foul? He's behind him, steps on his leg. He brings Kudus down as he's running away. Yeah, he does.
He brings him down, yes, but he doesn't step on his leg.
He steps on the back of his leg, dude. Watch the replay. Because you're right. He's tripping and falling, the defender, and he goes and steps on Kudus and bundles into him, bringing him over in the box as he's sprinting away from him. That's a foul. In what world is tripping another player not a foul?
Accidental contact.
It doesn't matter if it's accidental. It's a trip. Anyway, when you have the ball and you're getting away from a player.
I didn't think it was a penalty. You're not going to change my mind.
That is 100% a penalty, man. Let us know in the comments. Was that Kudus foul a penalty or no in that West Ham Bournemouth game? Please, someone agree with me. He trips into him, man, as he gets around. That's a foul. Total foul.
Anyways, I've said it once. I've said it a million times. Eric Ten Hagard bought the wrong player from Ajax. Should have bought Mohamed Kudus, but he bought Anthony.
He should have.
Would have saved himself $50 million, where they could have bought a better goalkeeper. Throw that out there. Anyways,
truth.